Alrighty, folks. Hello there. Wee Rabbit here. And as you can see, we are diving into our next LP, which is Silent Hill Shattered Memories. You might notice that things were a little bit different. Usually, whenever I start an LP, I start on the title menu, ready to go. This time, though, I really want to start from the moment you boot up the game because there's that really interesting red screen message that says that this game plays you as much as you play it. And I think the gimmick of this game is really interesting, and that's kind of why we're looking at it. But yeah, we'll talk about that in a moment. First, I want to introduce my co-host, as always. Say hello, Terrific.
Yo, what's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, Young Jump Scare, because I'm gonna get spooked during this thing.
Nice. Alrighty, cool. All right, so real quick, for the audience, I guess we kind of talked about this. We talked about this off screen, but you don't know anything about the Silent Hill franchise, right?
Yep, don't know anything.
All right. So once again, Terrific is just totally in the dark, which seems to happen a lot. I think it's like Terrific had no childhood, I swear.
I mean, that is also a fact.
Oh boy. Okay, but anyway.
Yeah, that's why I'm. What up?
Sorry to cut you off. But anyway, what I was trying to say is, so the reason we're playing this game, first of all, I love the Silent Hill franchise. I think it's a really, really good franchise. This game in particular, though, I thought was a good little dive into horror because, first of all, I have the game that makes it really easy accessible. And number two, I really, really love that gimmick that says the game plays you as much as you play it. It's one of those things where as the game progresses, there will be certain choices we make and stuff that affects gameplay and how the game looks and everything. And I will try my best to explain certain things that change. That way you guys can see so that's what it means of how it plays with you and stuff. So I think it's going to be really interesting. Before that though, real quick, I just want to kind of give a little bit of a lore dump for Silent Hill for anyone that doesn't know. Once upon a time, Silent Hill used to be a really beloved franchise. It is made by Konami, who's also made Castlevania, the Metal Gear series, etc. These days, though, they really suck. They don't make any video games. They just make pachinko machines, that sort of thing. So that's really lame. And they've really let a lot of their series go. And one of those series, of course, is Silent Hill. And Silent Hill, back in the day, it was basically kind of like the other side of the coin to Resident Evil. Well, Resident Evil was more action-y, and it was about zombies, and it was about, trained people like cops or soldiers, dealing with these infestations. Silent Hill was more of a psychological thing, and it has to do with dealing with eldritch horrors and psychological horrors. And you play as normal people. You play as a dad looking for his daughter. You play as a husband looking for his wife. You play as a teenage girl, etc. And I don't know. It's one of those things where if you guys have a chance, go back and look at the Silent Hill series. It's just really great, especially those first 3-4 games are really awesome. And unfortunately, along the way, Konami just got lazy, handed their IP off to other studios, and that led to some really bad games, near the end of the series. This one is a bit divided. There's some people that say it's the best of the non-Japanese titles. Some people still hate it, It just kind of depends. But I like this game. I think that it's honestly, it has its flaws, but I would say overall, it's pretty good, One last thing to note, this is a reimagining of the first game. So one of those things that, again, I might explain characters and, their counterparts to the original game, etc. But yeah, it's just a really crazy reimagining of the first game that they did to celebrate, I think it was the 20th anniversary. And that's why it's just so weird and gimmicky, because they just wanted to do something really weird to celebrate that anniversary. But yeah, I think that's it. I think that's a good place to start. I already have a profile, of course, because I was checking to make sure subtitles were on or whatever. But yeah, we're ready to start. Anything you want to say before we start, Terrific?
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't let him lie to you people. He just added cheats to the game on that profile.
Oh my god, shut up! How would I? What would the cheats even be? Honestly, you guys will see. There's no way. Oh, I've added cheats. You guys will see as I'm playing. But anyway, we're ready to start. So let's start. Sweetie. Okay, so we are obviously watching old VHS footage.
I love my daddy.
Like something about the way she says that always makes me laugh. It just sounds really cheesy the way she goes, "I love my daddy." Oh boy. You know, I hope when your daughter's older, I hope she does that.
Nah, I'm gonna like. I think I talked to my wife about it, and we think that we're just gonna like drop her off like at the fire station or police station in a couple more months. We just needed a break.
Oh boy.
Just gonna, drop her off with some professionals, and then just enjoy our lives.
Oh, okay, that sounds good. You know, why not? You do you.
I mean, I could drop her off with you, but I don't think you'd enjoy having having an 8-month-old.
Jeez. I'll raise her the way I raised my dog. Okay, so it cuts from that VHS footage to this office, and there's a guy. Apparently, he was watching that on his laptop. And in a moment, we'll kind of see what his deal is. As that loads up, though, because this is gonna be a little bit slow, it's gonna show him in his office. Real quick, that guy we saw in the VHS, that character, his name is Harry Mason. And in the first game, he's the protagonist. And basically, I don't remember if he's like a writer or something. I forget what he does for a living. But he's just like your everyday guy, just like a dorky dad. That in the first game, he's looking for his daughter. And his daughter's name is Cheryl. And that's the little girl that they showed in the footage. And so, yeah, as you'll see in a moment, the game kind of starts off with Harry. He was trying to take a visit to Silent Hill, which is the name of the the little town. And he gets into a car crash, and that's what leads him to look for his daughter. So you'll see all that in a moment. It'll kind of just, you'll see in a moment. I'm just kind of trying to give a little bit of, exposition. But there we go. As you can see, this guy's in his office.
Yes?
The new patient is here. They're early.
That's fine. We can start now.
All right. So it turns out that guy is a therapist. So here's what I was describing. There's Harry crashing his car, and that's kind of what opens the game. And yeah, I guess I just keep watching. Oh, he just falls. It's great. Just blah.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, it's a shame. I was gonna try to play this game emulated, because like the graphics would look a little bit better, but unfortunately, it doesn't do the motion controls well, so I wasn't able to do that. I practiced with it, I messed with it.
I'm glad you came. Just turning up shows your commitment to the process. Good.
I was court ordered.
I've read your notes. The other therapist didn't work out for you. I want you to know this will be different.
Okay, so we're looking around the
this
room.
at your pace.
We're gonna look at his crotch to set
No
dominance.
drugs.
Hey, his eyes are there, buddy.
We go back to the start. Understand what happened. Take a look at this short form. I promise it's the only one you'll see during your therapy.
Alrighty.
Try to answer truthfully. It's
so
easier
luckily,
that way.
they do, get into this pretty soon. But part of the gimmick, part of it does have to do with the gameplay itself. We'll talk about that later. Part of the gimmick of what it means that it psychologically profiles you and the game plays with you is that you're literally getting psychologically profiled. You're literally talking to a therapist. That is a part of the gimmick of the game. So it's really fun because some of the questions we answer here will affect what happens in the overworld, right? All right, so I'm gonna try to answer this, I guess that's truthfully. So it says, I make friends easily. I think it's pretty true, compared to other people. I've seen other people, I don't mind talking to people and stuff. That's, whatever. Having a drink helps me relax. That's false. Not really much of a drinker, honestly. It says, I always listen to other people's feelings. True. Shut up, terrific. I'm going to say otherwise. So no, it's true. I prefer abstract ideas. I guess kind of. I don't mind getting philosophical and thinking about like weird stuff. It says, I have enjoyed role play during sex. Now, as much as I would like to say that I always tell them, like, don't take the Shantae costume off. No, that's false. Working to plan or schedule is best. I mean, to an extent, right? It's always good to at least have a plan going in, right? I think so. True.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I have never cheated on a partner. That is also true. I'm a good boy, not a cheater. You're like a liar.
Listen, man, I know what rabbits do.
Oh, jeez.
Never cheated on a partner? Really?
So we're shaking our head, yes.
Okay.
All right, cool. And it's kind of cool because you use the Wii remote to like, look around and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Let's get started then.
Dude, what if it changed the game if you just like started out as Crouch?
The game starts and it's just Harry looking at his own crotch somehow. Oh my gosh. Okay, so in a moment, I'll explain some of the stuff that I answered and how
Cheryl.
it affects the game a little bit.
Cheryl? Sweetie?
This is what I was talking about. So he was driving towards town,
Oh my god.
got into a car accident, and apparently his daughter's gone. You can see like the teddy bear's there, but she's nowhere in sight. And so this is what starts the incident, that he's looking for his missing daughter.
Cheryl? Cheryl?
Ah, yes,
Cheryl!
she'd just be under the car.
Yeah, I get it. You have to look everywhere, but it still does. It looks pretty goofy. Honestly, it's just under the car. Oh my god! Okay, so this is pretty cool. So you're walking around, and you control the field of vision and stuff with the Wii remote. And as I'm saying, trying to play this game emulated is really hard because you can't really replicate that. You know what I mean? All right, so it's this.
It's not Cheryl's.
All right, so those like some little notes or something that weren't hers. We're gonna climb this. All right, cool.
Nice.
So I've played this game before, so I to an extent remember some of the stuff. You know what I mean? Like not every single story beat, but I remember some of the stuff. Okay, so real quick, you know how I was saying, depending on what you look at, it affects the game. So for instance, see how there's a sexy poster over there? I'm not gonna like stare at it directly. If you look at stuff in the environment that has to do with like, you know, women's bodies or like porn or stuff like that, that actually affects one of the endings you can get.
Which is so weird.
And it affects how some of the enemies look, and it affects later in the game we'll get to some parts where some characters, the way they're dressed, that affects it as well.
Like, part of me wonders how much they how many decisions that they actually like coded for in this.
I don't know. Like I know a few, but yeah, it's kind of fun. Here's some phone numbers. If you can remember any of those, we can actually call those later on our phone, and it gets messages. That's kind of fun.
You old man, nobody remembers numbers anymore.
Right. All right. So, okay. So, for instance, one of the endings you can get, or one of the paths you can go to. See how this just this random poster right here?
Yeah.
Let's see, is he looking at it? Oh, he's not commenting on it. Weird.
Oh wait.
Now let's open the bathroom door. There's nothing in the bathroom. I'm not gonna go in there. But for instance, I know sometimes, depending on what you look like, if you look at, for instance, just random stuff like you're getting distracted, that affects a path. If you look at stuff that's like you know, like pornographic or like sexual, that affects a path. If you look at stuff that has to do with like a lot of alcohol, cigarettes, etc., that affects a path. So like literally everything you look at affects, you know, like I said, characters' appearances and endings and stuff. So that's interesting, right? That's weird, right?
No,
Same
it's not
thing.
interesting at all.
Same thing for some of the questions. You know the question I answered earlier where it says like, oh, like, you know, taking a drink helps you or whatever. That one actually right from the get-go puts you down a certain path. Because it thinks that you're like an alcoholic, basically.
I mean, that's a pretty big jump.
It is honestly, but you get what I mean? How like everything you do like really affects it. So that's kind of fun, right?
Yeah. No, I love games like that.
All right, so as you can see, we are in the city. It is abandoned. Look at that. Of course, there's no way to leave, right? They block you off. There's snow everywhere. Something I didn't explain about Silent Hill itself So Silent Hill, the titular, thing from like the titular town, it's a really weird town because it's a town that's kind of cursed. And actually, I'll talk about it in a moment. All right, so real quick, I'll let the decision up to you. We can go to this like camera / like photo store, or we can go to that boutique over there. Which one do you want to go to?
Let's go to the electronics store.
Go to the what?
What'd you say? The little
Like photo place?
Yeah, photo place.
Okay, cool. Yes, I
said electronics store.
All right. Okay, so Silent Hill, like I said, Silent Hill itself is a really strange town, which is what makes the game so creepy. Because, hold on, I remember there's like a little like jump scare like thing here. Hold on. Oh. Yeah, you hear that? Random TV going off. I don't know which one it was. Okay, hold on. And there's a message over here too, and then I'll get back to what I was saying. All right.
Answer the phone, you bastards. I just found out about the tape. That was our only copy. The happiest day of my life, and you wiped over it. I'm not letting this slip.
All right, so apparently they messed up somebody's marriage tapes. She's pissed. Real quick before I proceed, like I was saying, so what makes Silent Hill so special is that Silent Hill itself is almost like a character. It's almost like this entity. Basically, it's a town that's cursed. Like a lot of stuff has happened on, like the ground itself. A lot of like occult stuff. So it's like this weird place where people live there and, people visit it and it's like a normal town. But then for some certain people, when they get like caught up in the activities of the town, it becomes like a weird hellscape. And basically, like if you're involved with any of the occult stuff, you get thrown into like a hellscape having to do with the occult stuff. Or in some of the games, let's say it's because you have like personal things that you're like guilty of, kind of like stuff that you're I guess guilt is like the best thing, like guilt that's in the way of you. The town draws you in to basically like punish and mess with you. So it's really weird because depending on who you are, the town is totally different to you compared to other people. It's like really, really weird. That's what makes it really cool. And we're going to see some of that, obviously. So that's why I kind of want to mention that. All right. So here is the...
A happy couple.
Yes, that's weird because I think that's like live action, like real. So it's kind of weird. All right. So we want to do here, really simple. Basically, one of the doors is locked. So we're just going to open that real quick. See right there? Yeah. So this game is used to the puzzles and the fact that a lot of the puzzles have to do with using the Wii remote and using the motion controls. So right now, it's just game is used to that. No biggie, nothing too complicated.
I don't know, man. I think motion controls are pretty complicated.
They kind of are. Oh, I like this little poster for Mr. Milky.
Poor kid.
Have you seen my cat? He's brown with black stripes. If you see him, please contact Bobby Ashton. So yeah, his cat's missing. He's looking for his cat. We're good.
Yeah. But no, I was saying because Skyward Sword, man, had some really wonky motion controls back when it first came out on the Wii.
Yeah, a lot of people were not too fond of them because they were doing the whole, it's Wii Motion Plus, and it's like different motion controls that are more special, and I feel a lot of people were glad the Switch version, it fixed some of that.
Yeah, because after a while, it just gets to be too much.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so I paused. Did you hear that? There's a creepy noise, even though we're alone here. And I don't know if you noticed it, what do you see on the swing? That's creepy, right? Alright, so we're gonna ignore that for now.
Yeah, just ignore all the creepy stuff in the game. It's fine.
I need a key.
Alright, so we're gonna need a key. If you were like listening to the noise, it came from this side. Yeah, so this is one of those things that on an emulator you can't replicate, unfortunately. So look at this. This is kind of cool. See how you can hear the key?
Yep.
So you need to empty it. And you can't emulate that. Because you see how right now I'm like turning the hand upside down? You can't do that on an emulator. So if you try to place it on an emulator, I don't think you can get past this part, which is like so lame.
Actually, there might be a way to, because when I was looking at emulating Skyward Sword, and I eventually stopped because it would have been way too complicated if you didn't have the Wiimotes.
Mm-hmm.
You would have to. It had like different because you know how like Dolphin you can assign like different controller profiles or whatever. You would have to start. You would have like 3 or 4 different controller profiles, which each different had like different motion control settings locked to keybound and all that. And
Oh,
so
okay.
during different
you probably
parts
have
of
to
the
really,
game,
you probably have to mess with that.
switch.
Okay, so
Yeah.
real quick, another big difference. See how on this side there is a diner? And on this side, there is a sports bar, right? Remember how I answered no to the I drink to relax? So if you answer yes, the game leads you towards this building. This is the building you're supposed to enter. See how I can't enter it? But based on our answer, instead, we were led to this building. This is where we're going. That's weird, right?
Yeah.
Okay, another thing, pay attention to the cop. See how she has her hair, you know, she looks pretty formally dressed. She looks very homely, right?
Yep.
So if you pick the one that says that you enjoy roleplay and stuff, she looks like a slutty cop. She looks like a porn cop.
Wow.
Like she'll have her hair up, she'll have glasses, she has like a little mole on her face, she has like a lot of cleavage showing.
Okay, sir?
So that changes too,
That's
which is really
What are you
funny.
asking about?
I'm looking for my daughter.
Take a seat.
But anyway, yeah. So this is important. We'll pay attention to this part.
Your daughter. Go on.
We were in a car accident. When I came to, she was gone.
Maybe she went to get help. She a clever girl? Sensible?
Yeah, I think so. She's 7. Her name's Cheryl. Here's a photo.
Cute. Harry Mason. Levin Street. Your ID says you live on Levin Street. That's a few blocks from here.
11th Street, yeah. Yeah, that's where I live.
Uh-huh. You feeling okay, Harry? Any headache, nausea, blurred vision?
Bit of all of them. Maybe she went home. That makes sense.
Harry? Your phone?
My phone.
Yeah, that's where they introduced the little phone
Right.
thing. So,
Oh.
all right, hold on in case we hear something. Okay, nothing yet.
Hung up.
A lot of problems with phones on account of the storm. Maybe that was your little girl.
She could be trying to call me from home.
All units, please respond. Unconfirmed reports of a potential looting on Finney Street.
Shit. I need to follow this up.
It's okay. I'll head home. I'm sure she's there.
Tell you what, soon as I'm done, I'll meet you over there. 11th Street.
Thanks.
Take care.
She touched him. That's what I say it. My God. Alrighty. Cool. So like I said, so if we had picked a different thing, that would have affected how she looked. Another thing it would have affected, see how right now there's like a poster of this it's just like some rocker looking guy.
Yeah.
If you pick the other path, there's a like a model here instead.
Oh.
So that's weird, right? How it just like changes little things.
Yeah, no,
And
I
then
really
obviously,
like
you know
that
how
one.
we right there we could stare at her just like face to face. Obviously, if you stare at her cleavage, that leads you down a different path because it thinks you're a perv. It's funny. All right, so real quick, one last thing I want to do before we end this session. So let's pull out the phone. And there's a bunch of different features I kind of want to show off real quick. So there's the phone book. All we have is home on it, which we'll call in a moment. There's dial, which I guess if you remember phone numbers or you see phone numbers in the world, you can actually dial them, which is kind of interesting.
Mhm.
There's a gallery, which we haven't used yet, but that'll store important pictures along the way. There's a camera, obviously. Messages, which is empty. A map, which I've never really used the map, but it's supposed to be that you can like draw yourself a little map that way you don't get lost. I mean, that's always kind of cool, I
pretty cool.
guess.
Yeah.
Settings is stuff from earlier, subtitles, brightness, etc. Logs, it looks at everything you've done. And then there's save. Now, before we save the game, though, and we end the session, I want to show real quick what happens when we actually call home, all right?
Hello? Cheryl? Sweetie? Damn!
All right. So as you can see, we can call home, but there's no answer. I mean, we can hear like a little sniffling, but there was no answer. And then one more thing I'm going to do, and I think this is the one I was talking about, because I was telling Terrific earlier, they use the Wii remote to, that's where you get calls from. So if we dial 911, for instance, that's an easy number to remember, and we call it,
My daughter. My daughter's missing. My daughter's missing. Shit. My 7-year-old daughter is missing. Shit.
all right, so I don't know how well you guys could hear that. I think it becomes more clear once we get outside. I know there's some calls that work better than others, but that was actually coming through the Wii remote. It was like really, really light. So basically, yeah, whenever we're doing like a call or whatever, you can, I'll try to put the Wii remote up to the microphone, and you can actually hear the calls that he's getting and stuff, which is really interesting.
Yeah. And worst case scenario, the subtitles aren't over.
And then there's all these collectibles. I don't remember what the collectibles do, but it's just like a little extra thing. See, the town is home to many lost and discarded objects. Although these mementos have no practical value or purpose, they once meant something to someone. So I don't think you get anything for finding them. They're just like a little alternative thing. See, so there's a little snow globe. So that's kind of fun.
Shake it up.
All right, nah, I'm kidding. All right, like I said, I think this is where we're going to end it, guys. We're going to save it, off camera. But as you can see, very mysterious game so far. We really don't know what's happening. For some reason, the city looks weird. There was that thing in the park that we ignored, which we might, see later. Like I said, the game is paying attention to everything we look at, etc. So yeah, there's definitely a lot happening. And hopefully the next section, I know this was a little bit slow. In the next section, we get more into the, the meat of it, There you go, guys. If you like what you saw, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you to Terrific for being here.
Yeah, man, no problem.
Alrighty, guys, and we'll see you next time for part 2. Bye-bye.
Bye.